Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are gonna be continuing the module short story narrations for the various operators in Arknights, today with the one for Silence. The regular Silence, not the alter version that we just got. But as always, let us proceed into the module short story first, and then we shall take a look at what the module upgrades for her talents and traits. And just like last time, which was for the short story for Ifrit, there will be two people talking throughout this one, through the vast majority of this one. So just like last time, I'll be doing voices for both characters, just so it's easier to follow along with this story. So let us begin. The module and the short story are titled Emergency Self-Defense Procedures, and this is how it goes. You want me to add a self-defense module to your medical drones? Outside of the Lutra workshop, Magellan stares wide-eyed at Silence, as if she's looking at a seaborn flopping about in the middle of the great tundra. Would it be strange? Not really, if you think about it. I just never imagined it, that's all. I figured you'd rather improve its healing efficacy or maybe durability. I probably would have thought along those lines in the past, yes. Magellan doesn't say anything. She may spend her days in the tundra year in and year out, but that doesn't mean she's completely clueless about Ryan Lab's internal affairs. I initially wanted nothing more than to be a researcher. I sought to thoroughly analyze the relationship between Originium and life, and I assumed I'd pry open the boundaries of knowledge with my own two hands. But following a string of incidents, I could no longer ignore this. As long as my research doesn't change course, I will never be able to completely exclude the human perspective. Before I started a new job, I first need to stand in the shoes of a doctor, from where I could examine my own dreams and ambitions. The most basic respect you can afford someone, as I see it. Those drones then are the crystallization of my ideology. The two inadvertently share a glance towards the workshop. Meyer is inside racking her brains. Entering, hastily, was very liable to get you bitten. Speaking as a layman in medicine, I think these drones are already perfect as an extension of a doctor's hands. Perhaps, but I've increasingly come to realize that merely serving as a doctor is still not enough. Silence's expression is complicated. She lightly touches her hair. Humans are far more complex than Originium. We can roughly determine Originium activity from its surface appearance. We can predict the ETA of catastrophes from natural phenomenon. We can avoid infection through highly effective protective measures. But how do we determine a person's interior life from what's visible to us? Do falling figures signify deterioration or improvement? Are people with crossbows ultimately there to defend, or just to kill? Just like a snowfield that seems perfectly quiet, Magellan murmurs to herself. Yes, just like a snowfield that seems perfectly quiet. Therefore, I need tougher measures. So that when the snowfield finally bares its fangs at me, I can protect the people I should be protecting. And there we go. That is our short story. Pretty much a upward trend of Silence's more and more increasing determination to do something for the people she cares about and improve upon herself. So, with that, let us see what we get from the module. But first, the regular traits and talents. The regular trait is the very simple one of restores the HP of all allies. Makes sense, she's a healer. The one and only talent, considering she's a 5-star, is Booster Injection. All medic operators gain attack speed of plus 14 when Silence is deployed. The plus 2 here in the brackets that you see is from a potential upgrade, so if you have a potential 5 Silence, she will gain this plus 2, which means for you, if you have only a regular Silence or up to potential 4, it will say plus 12 here. So, what do we get from the module? Well, first off, base stats go up, of course, one of them being health, the other one being attack speed, but more on that in a second. The trait gets upgraded and now says healing increased by 15% when healing a ground unit. That's already very nice. So what do we get from the further improvements in the tiers of the module? Also a reminder, this is a tier 1 module, so the stats are reflected from that. Coming back to the attack speed that I just mentioned, she gains +4 to attack speed just by having this module equipped, which is very nice, meaning she can dish out healing faster. As a quick reminder, the passive, or rather talent here, booster injection, does affect Silence herself. So she has, again, this is in my case, a +14 and a +4, meaning a +18 to attack speed in total. Now, the further paths are increasing the base stat of attack speed and health. Attack speed on tier 2 will go up to +5, and on tier 3 later will go to +6. Her talent will get boosted as well, giggity, will get boosted from a 14 to a 17, and later on tier 3 it will go to a 19. If you have, again, a silence that is either just a regular single copy or up to tier 4, or sorry, potential 4, she will go from 12 to 15 to 17 on tier 3 respectively. So, closing thoughts on this one? I'll say this, just getting maybe tier 1. If Silence is a healer that you're using regularly, just getting the tier 1 on the module is probably already enough to boost her. The healing efficacy of the drone being a +15% increase is very nice, especially, sorry, the healing efficacy for her in general being 15% is very nice because it affects her drone as well, of course. And the drone is, while only being deployed for 10 seconds at max, as a reminder, while it's active, it is healing everything in the vicinity of it. So, pretty decent, especially if you're deploying it around a lot of ground units. But do you need to go to tier 3 to take the absolute max potential out of this thing? Probably not. Tier 2 and 3 are obviously the expensive kinds, and I would, at least from a personal level, say this one is not necessary to go higher. Tier 1 seems to be already good enough because it already boosts her capabilities a tiny bit and makes her a tiny bit more efficient. But that's just my thoughts. Maybe someone has better math on this one. But anyway, this will be it for this one. For more on Silence, you can see how she performs and what she does and what is happening to her in the just released Lone Trail side story. Link to a playlist of the narrated and voice acted story is in the description of the video if you want to check that one out. Be it that you don't have time to read yourself, just sit back, relax, and listen to the story, and just absorb it. It will be worthwhile. There is a lot to unpack from that one. But as always, thank you very much. If you like this video, please consider leaving a like on it. It will help me out quite a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. There's a lot more on the channel than just these small side stories as I just mentioned. And if you want to support me and my work more directly, there are memberships. And as always, no video will be ever behind a membership here on the channel. It's purely there just to support the channel. But yeah, thank you very much. I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.